Is there ever any meta moments in Walking Dead comics? Does anyone ever look at the panel camera and go,
like see the
more
last.
like
every issue?
You're not going to like the next page.
Yeah.
Like just to the camera.
I did do a thing recently. I'm going to spoil recent issues of Walking Dead just so I have something to talk about. Because, well, just stop listening if you don't want recent issues.
They get out of the prison. I know
a couple
that.
minutes.
Well, no, they come to a new community, and Michonne, who's a character that's been in the book for a very long time, finds out that her daughter is alive.
She
and
walks
well,
she's the one who learned the technique of cutting off their jaws and walking them around as walker camouflage.
That is her. And so she finds her daughter, and it's like 2 straight issues of all positive, like happy cliffhangers, and she's reunited with her daughter, and it's all
happy cliffhangers.
Yeah, it's all good news because there's it was like 175, so we've done 174 issues where all the cliffhangers are all just misery.
Right.
Like this guy's getting his hand cut off,
and then you're like,
this guy's mom's
you finally
getting cut
ended
in
one
half.
where someone's shaking a gift box and it sounds like a puppy, but it could be a kitten.
And then it's a puppy, and you're like, hey! And so I was convinced that people would be pissed off, and so when we revealed that the daughter's actually alive, she works at a bakery, and she comes out holding a cake, and she sees her mother, who she's thought was dead for the last many, many years, living in the zombie apocalypse, and she drops the cake that she's holding.
Right.
And so I was like, if people really hate this, they'll say that instead of the comic jumping the shark in this issue, they'll be like, this is the issue where they drop the cake.
Right.
I was trying to create my own nuking the fridge, But
I get
so
what
far
you mean,
people have
but
liked it.
A happy cliffhanger is a hopeful cliffhanger. It's you can still have a cliffhanger, but it can be hinged on hope. It's kind of an interesting concept because, correct me if I'm wrong, but a hopeful cliffhanger actually is you're still laying. It's just a question of whether you're saying, "Oh shit, something horrible
right.
did happen. We'll see you next week," or saying, "Oh shit, I just found out my daughter is alive, but I haven't talked to her yet." Tune in next week.
and hopefully after 15 years of The Walking Dead, when I present a character like Michonne with a living daughter, the audience is going, "Oh man, is she going to die soon? Like, is this going to get taken away? Is this going to get ugly quickly?" Hopefully people are having those worries. We'll see.
Maybe they're the Walking Dead.
The readers?
The viewers. You don't even like TV. Just say it. Say that they're the people that read the comic book are the Walking Dead. The people that are I'm sorry. They're the walking.
The reading dead.
They're the good. They're the normal. They're the reading humans. The people that watch the TV show. They're the viewing dead. I got drunk. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. I don't have a passion for television, but I do love it. I love working on it. I mean, I'm not going to be completely negative about the whole thing. I love my viewership, Dan.
Oh no!
They're all fantastic people. None of them ever annoy me on Twitter. Not even a little bit.
Nobody's ever tweeted at Robert Kirkman with a thought about the 9th season of your
this is me going through my Twitter feed. Oh, that's smart.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
that's insightful.
Oh, wow.
I hadn't thought of that. Helpful. They're right. I should have shipped those 2 characters.
Good. My favorite thing, I got to say, I don't know if you get this on Twitter. I will get someone that says, "I have great ideas for the next season of Walking Dead. Follow me so that we can DM."
Yeah, I get.
There's an urgency to it too.
I need to talk to you, and I can't tell you what I need to talk to you about. It's about Rick and Morty. Please DM me or follow me because
this is nothing I can say in public.
Right,
I can't
give you
these random
spoiler
ideas
alerts
where someone else could see them. I just don't understand.
For the same reason, I will sue you if you do what I say. I can't say anything right now.
But I do. I'll sound like a dick for a minute just to give you some cover.
He needs this.
Doesn't it frustrate you sometimes when people don't understand what we do to the point where they feel like they need to give us ideas?
What a dick!
It did for
you're being such a dick right now.
Sorry.
He just said, "Hey, can I be a dick right now?"
Sorry.
He said something really thoughtful.
No,
and he was nice about it.
All right, Schraub.
I'll try harder. These assholes think they can give us ideas. It's like we We're throwing ideas out that we can't get to. What the hell?
The thing that frustrates me is, and I swear to God, it was for altruistic reasons, because it was like more like, oh, I weep for our children kind of thing. It was frustrating to me for a while. Now I'm jaded, but it was frustrating to me for a while when kids in their mid-20s, otherwise known as grown-ass humans, like, who clearly, like, have successfully been conned by the society that I grandfathered into, like, into thinking that television is like a water or gas company or something. Because they simply have a problem with the temperature of it coming out of their tap, which means they're never going to create anything. And I know that I'm not as amazing as I am. I know that the fact that I ended up in Hollywood making my own shit must have had something to do with the fact that at some point along the line, somebody told me in some way that resonated with me, you could do it too. You could just do it. And I feel like when I used to feel sad when I would read certain shit, like where I'd be like, wow, you think TV is toothpaste and you don't know that your parents buy your toothpaste. Like, you think that you're just mad at 25 that the TV came out wrong. And you're not even ashamed that you're saying, like, horrible shit to someone that is designed semantically to provoke their suicide over the fact that something wasn't written by you because you don't know you could write. Yeah. And that used to make me sad, but then I turned 45 and I was like, cha-ching. Enslaved population. Like, then they voted for Trump, and then I was like, stay dumb. Fucking give me 5 years. Stay this stupid. Let me out of here.
I don't agree with any of this.
Give me your Social Security checks while you're at it.
That's braver than me. I commend that.
But when I was 30, when I was your age, when my kid was only 11, I'd be like, this is such a bummer, man. Like, it's not that I'm smarter than kids. It's just like, I had a school paper. They don't have a school paper. If they had a school paper, they wouldn't be saying this shit.
Or they would have been saying it in the school paper and you never would have seen it.
And they would have. They said it in the school paper and it would have activated them and they would have become a TV writer. Yeah. But instead they go to English class, and English class is, here's how you'll pass your SATs, maybe, unless you're going into the funnel that will take you to McDonald's. Here you go. Oh, you would say, by the way, enjoy watching television, which is created by a mysterious race of people in California that no one has any idea how they got out there, but we know they're all liberal cucktards that just are ungrateful. And it's like, like no one at any point says to these kids in the hallway by their locker, by the way, you could just move out there and start writing TV.
You think that there's a lack of awareness in the general population that they could be a writer?
There's a lack of creative arts education. There was a genuine general 20-year pullback in our educational institutions, particularly the public ones, of on one side what do you call it? Because I don't fraternize with blue collar people, but the work programs, the trades, the internships where you could be, if you were going to be a mechanic and you were good at it, high school wouldn't tell you were a worthless piece of shit and you should go to rehab. They would tell you can be a mechanic and place you in a fucking mechanic job. Or and then on the other hand, also if you're going to go to college but possibly maybe don't know exactly what you're supposed to do, that there's a thing called poetry, there's a thing called fucking thinking about shit. There's plays. There's
a lot of
art.
money in poetry.
Yes. Well, you don't have to fucking schraub me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's not what schraubing is.
Pointing out that I don't know what I talk about is a lazy hobby, Robert Kirkman. But at least you found one.
Should I get a beard? Should I have a beard?
Oh.
I don't know.
Should I get a beard?
Let's do it.
You could try it.
Go right now.
Get the hose.
What if I just fucking like Play-Doh Fun Factory with a beard out of my face? I mean,
I would be speechless.
It would be wasted on a podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
True.
Well, we do have cameras.
That's true.
It would be captured. It'd make a great GIF.
I wonder when yours would go gray if you had one.
I'm getting pretty gray up here. You can't really see it because my hair's kind of dark, but it's getting gray and wiry.
Really sad.
I get the odd gray
gray
nose hair and the gray chest hair, and I had a gray nipple hair over here. That was very distinguished.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
I think you're distinguished. I don't know if your gray nipple hair. If anything, your gray nipple hair is a quitter. Gray hair makes you distinguished. The gray hairs themselves. Let's not praise them.
I got the feeling that the other nipple hairs were looking at that gray nipple hair like, well, way to go. Like, nice try, Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you. It's good to be on the same page once in a while.
I love when you're drunk.
Robert.
You haven't taken any Adderall. You just had vodka.
Yeah.
And
I'm just swimming. I'm just treading life's water.
You become
what are you talking about? What are you kidding? Go to the edge of the pool. Why are these floaty things around me? I'm trying to do aerobics.
Thanksgiving Day uncle over there. You're just freestyling.
I'm 2 minutes from cleaning my ear with a car key and unbuckling my belt and just falling asleep in front of the cranberry sauce.
Car key work for that? That sounds. Huh.
I do.
Never tried it.
That was a whole Gary Shandling bit about like Thanksgiving. It's like, yeah, geez, Dad, what are you trying to start your head?
But now you got those fobs. You can't even do it anymore. You got those square fobs.
Yeah.
That joke's not universal anymore.
I don't even have a car. I just stick a knife in there now.
Oh, boy. Oh, man.
Dad, just keep drinking. Please, just like
Finally.
Save us, Rob.
I'm not joking.
Save us.
Pour yourself. Finish what you got in there.
My hands are tied, folks.
Robert.
We have D&D coming up.
Are you all zombied out? I mean, do you recommend any kind of new zombie kind of stuff? Or are you just like, I'm so sick of zombies, I can't see it? Or do you like check out what, like, is there some new kid like in Jamaica making some crazy zombie stuff that you're just like, you gotta check out this Jamaican kid's doing some really like some revolutionary zombie stuff. You gotta check it out. I got I got a thumb drive full.
If only I had my finger on the pulse of all the new zombie stuff going on. There's this kid
In Jamaica. His zombies are Irie.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a twist.
I do still enjoy zombie stuff. I just recently rewatched Day of the Dead, which is a classic.
So good. Great.
Very excited about that. It had been
That's the first
far
time I
too
saw
long.
Wait,
Greg Nicotero.
the classic or the
That's
remake?
true. The classic.
Did you? So
I haven't seen the remake
I've been
of
obsessive
Day of the Dead.
about the Day of the Dead. I always tell people like that's the best. Like it's the Romero trilogy. It's so great that it builds from workaday schmucks in a black and white house, going like what the fuck's happening, to the next tier of civilization, which is these slightly more privileged cops and reporters like holding up in a shopping mall, and then the culmination is this like, oh my god, this isn't even life anymore. Yeah. It's scientists and soldiers.
They're literally buried.
But the only thing I noticed, because I kept saying to Cody, I was like, you gotta see like first I gotta show you these first two movies, and then I kept telling her like, yeah, the Day of the Dead, and it's like it's the best. It's like in a bunker and it's like crazy. And then I watched it again and I felt a little embarrassed in the eyes of the person I was trying to indoctrinate, because I was like, oh, I forgot there's no zombies in this one. Like
Day of the Dead?
There's not. They come in the end and
plenty.
all right, well,
it's got the good.
quite a bit.
I can't tell if you're high roading me or
Bub.
medium roading me. You're helping me. You're trying to help me.
Help me out. No, but you shouldn't have felt bad. The most fascinating thing about Day of the Dead, if you guys don't know this, is that that wasn't the movie that George Romero originally wanted to make. There's a different script that you can find online for the original Day of the Dead that was like this massive movie that had different people living on an island, and
well, he eventually did that, right?
He never did that movie. He did another movie that took place on an island.
Where they're in the sky rise and the zombies learn to swim.
Land of the Dead, yeah. There was some material, I think, from that ended up in Land of the Dead.
I think the Dead Reckoning was in.
Oh, was the
I thought that.
It's been a while since I've read it.
Didn't Romero like say like there were certain zombies that they were actually being used as weapons, like they had different colorings on them, or something? Do you know what
like certain zombies, I think they were trained to do different things. There was a lot more bubs in the original script.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I feel like Romero's obsession was with the idea that there was an evolution happening.
Yeah.
Like, which I would say like. Like I'm
It's not my favorite aspect of
it's,
those
it's,
movies,
it's like,
sure.
nah, I don't need that. It's sort of like the Wachowski siblings, like being into parts of the Matrix trilogy that you're like, oh, look, you've earned the right to be obsessive about this, but
when Colonel Sanders starts, him and Han on stuff I can't understand. Can someone just wear sunglasses?
Yeah,
and punch somebody? I'm
wire
not smart
work and
enough
trench
for this.
coats and
I think that comes from the fact that like Night of the Living Dead was originally like conceived by Russo and George Romero as a sequel to Omega Man. Like the idea was supposed to be let's do, because we liked Last Man on Earth, the Vincent Price one, and if you watch Last Man on Earth at Night of the Living Dead, they feel like one's a prequel, but like at the last minute, well, not at the last minute, they said, well, we can't do that. Let's choose a different. It can't be vampires. Let's make them zombies, and they'll eat people instead of doing. Drinking blood, but in the Omega Man, like the vampires were slowly taking over the world and becoming the dominant species. So that's kind of like what I think he was doing with the zombies. The zombies were taking over and they were becoming their own dominant species, and the humans were going to be.
In a sense, it's also then a prequel to Daybreakers with Stephen Dorff. All right.
Wasn't that with it was about the girls with the ski masks and the spring break that go down and it's rob places? James Franco.
That's Spring Breakers, not Daybreakers. Is vampires have taken over and they have it's a future vampire society where vampires are the dominant species and humans are. It's a very Schraby thing. I'm pretty sure you probably have seen it.
Yeah.
Ski Patrol.
It's not Ski Patrol. I've named the movie 3 times now. Have you seen Daybreakers?
Wedding Crashers.
God damn it, all of you.
Daybreakers, it's Ethan
Tit
Hawke.
blasters.
Drink
The
your
Road
drink.
Warrior.
Drink your drink, Dan.
Vampires are people.
I've
actually never seen
humans.
Daybreakers.
But have you had? I don't want to get into your politics, but like,
Here we go.
It's like when you watch Day of the Dead.
I left my Making America Great Again hat at home, but go ahead.
And they've got that that plotting synth score, and then she's got to go to her meeting with the soldiers. It's like, isn't that the dread that it's like that scene? And it's early in the movie. It's like basically it's the call to adventure because there's nothing left anymore, and it's just this. Let's have a meeting, and the soldiers are like, I want to know what the fuck is going on, and I've got the fucking guns, and what the fuck are you eggheads doing? And and it's like you're just in a lab coat. It's the liberal nightmare is like oh yeah, okay, the world's gotten so shitty that you control it and you're a horrible person and I have no idea what you're going to do. I only know what the zombies are going to do, and we've gotten pretty good at controlling them, and we'd like that comfort to continue. It's a very resonant for today moment, that conversation, because it's like no good guys or bad guys. Because if you strain the dumb part of your brain, you can relate to the soldiers too. They're like, give us some results. We have a bunch of assault rifles. Should we not be like maybe going and finding a new bunker?
When she goes down, when they're like, we got to get out of here, and they're about to leave, and they go down, and Nicotero's head is on the and he's doing it. They find that, and she finds the tape recorder, and he goes, "It's mind-boggling, Father." When Frankenstein is doing all the recording, and then she freaks out like, "Oh no! Oh my God, no!" I never really understood. What was your interpretation of that moment?
Yeah, this is the best use of Robert Kirkman of any podcast, I hope.
No, I can't remember exactly what he says, but
It's mind-numbing, Father. It's mine. Stop it, Father. I put it away, Father. Remember when?
They're kind of vaguely implying.
I know the scene. I don't think I ever understood what I didn't know if it was.
Somebody said, "Oh, he's fucking the zombies in the butt."
Yeah, I always thought there was some kind of sexual thing there.
Really.
But honestly, I think that is the cinematic Occam's razor, because why else is that recording a plot point?
Yeah.
And I think that if you write backwards from the if the answer is it's a revelation that the doctor is fucking the zombie, in the 70s, the way you'd hear that as a plot device on a tape recorder would be a bunch of weird improv about like daddies and As opposed to, because it wouldn't be like, yeah, if your zombie ass feels so good on my normal living dick, it's so tight because it's fucking dead and cold. It would be like, it would have to be veiled. All right, bye, Robert Kirkman.
I mean, if that was the
It would
case,
have to be veiled like, oh, he's perverted, and perverts talk about daddy, while they're doing nasty stuff. But what's the alternative explanation? It's just that he's
crazy,
or just that he's
nuts.
I think her thing is she's like, oh God, I've been defending him to the soldiers this whole time, and he's batshit insane.
He's out of his mind.
But I would say if that's true, double beat. Like,
I'm going to say it's because he's been fucking.
She knew that he was off.
Yeah.
He was. She was impatient with him too. She just was like, she's like, doctor, what are we going to do? The fucking soldiers are getting worse than the zombies, and he's like, I just need more data. That's like civilized. So if there's a change in story direction, as she's implying with her shocked reaction, maybe it's because I'm limited. But it almost seems like it could only mean that she's finding out he was fornicating with the chained up zombie.
I feel like there must be another option, but I think you might be right.
I also want to say, I wish that wasn't true, because I find that, again, as with the whole bub evolution, I find that stuff to be totally not at all what's appealing about zombie mythology. Schraub and I have talked about this endlessly, but it's just the 70s had it nailed at a certain point, because it was they're just a sea of death. They're stupid. They're slow.
Yeah.
Not that I mind the new post 9/11 running zombies that shriek like bobcats and leap from rafters. It obviously works for us too. And it has its own resonance.
I think it's an either-or situation. I mean, sometimes I like the movies where they're running, and I like it in that movie. But I prefer the slower ones. But it's not like, oh, these movies suck. Because
the idea that the living are the wildcats, the living are the problem because they're living. The living are unpredictable. The living are in and of themselves capable of ruining everything by pushing one button, either in a conversation or on a switchboard. Whereas these fucking things have perfect order. They have the American dream / the Russian dream / the immortality, oh my God, they're gonna get us, but none of them are gonna high five each other, or and it's that's why that bub aspect of Romero's dream always that distracted me too, because I was like, I know I'm supposed to jump up in the theater and go, one of them used a gun or learned to use a doorknob, not at all to me the point, but.
I think that's one of the aspects that entertained me and engaged me to the point that I actually did The Walking Dead. I love that zombies by and large are a manageable threat.
And an explorable one. I mean, you've explored them in so many ways that because you got to just right. You got to think over and over again.
People will get sick of it eventually, but
it's only a matter of time now.
It's it's fascinating to think about this unrelenting sea of danger that's out there, and if you keep your wits about you and you plan well, you can do fine. But if
I'm going to retire. I'm going to retire. I'm going to have that death that doesn't end in that one shot where you go, and your intestines are dragged apart like a taffy bar. I'm going to be the one human being left that doesn't. I my other favorite thing, since I'm this drunk, is the beginning of Dawn of the Dead, the 70s one, where it's just it's such a freaky. Building? No, not the apartment building. That stuff's creepy, fun.
The TV station.
It's the TV station that she's waking up. What's her name? Polly. It's just that she's the eyes in, and it's just. I love that the black and white one, they worshipped the television, because if the television could just tell us what was going on and where we should go, and then they worship their one car, and it's this perhaps unintentional but spot on resonant cultural thing of it's black and white, it has its roots in old school classic horror films, but it's fucking so raw and powerful because it's just fear, and it's just there's a black guy in the house. It's almost a bigger problem than there's dead people outside eating brains. And the young people understand that that's counterproductive, and the guy with the control of the hammer and nails doesn't, and that if we could just get this TV working, the TV's like, the TV we gotta get it working, and the idea that you fade in on the sequel at the TV station, and it's full color now, and it's like it's 70s and everyone's got bell bottoms and smokes weed, but like you're pretending that the narrative they work in television where you're learning that this is the apocalypse will not be manageable by anybody. All right, sorry. I'm sorry to your children. I'm sorry to our listeners.
Have you seen Train to Busan?
No, I have not.
Oh,
that was really awesome.
That was really good. It's a Korean, I believe, zombie movie. It's really great. I recommend that one.
They keep making good zombie movies. I'll be the first person I can easily just go like, too many zombie movies. Zombies are dead, no pun intended.
Sure.
But like, but I keep watching them, and then it doesn't. It's almost like it's like road movies. You know, it doesn't matter that there's 1,000 of them. It's like there'll just be some Swedish zombie movie.
They go in waves, though. I mean, there was we didn't see zombie movies for a really long time, and then they came back, and then it's like vampires. You know, it's like undead stuff. It goes like, I mean, why do you think that is that? Like, what is it about society that makes us fascinated with, like, the undead and living dead like that for, like, an amount of time, and then we move on to something else?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's, I don't know. You got, like, one that's, like, super popular. You get, like, a 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
And then that begets, like, a Land of the Dead and a Dawn of the Dead remake and a bunch of different stuff. And then it becomes so popular that they start making crappy ones. Mm-hmm. And then people are like, let's let this rest for a couple months.
Yeah.
And then they come back. I feel like that's the cycle. I don't think there's any kind of like societal like,
people are like feel guilty about all the horrible things that we're doing overseas and to get iPhones, and these are the dead people coming to get us. There's no living nightmare.
I don't think most people are aware of all the horrible things we do to get iPhones too.
I don't go to like a lot of action movies or like
the hell you say?
Superhero movies or zombie movies, whatever.
Black Panther is really burning up the charts.
Top 6?
Top 6.
Oh, boy.
My button didn't work.
Two. Yeah.
It is a weird genre that's become a giant thing. Like there's this inundation of of zombie stuff. Like that is weird that there's so much of it.
Well, it kind of is verging on into the 9th season of Walking Dead and the 900th indie movie about like, well, my relationship's not going that well because there's a zombie attack. Like it as many shitty ones as there are. Sure, it's kind of verging on the hip hop thing where it's like you wanted to say like if you were waiting for it to be over that rap was a fad, and that it's like at a certain point you just went, this is a genre. This is not a thing. This is not something. And it's like I think it's just that we don't have a healthy. Our technology means conquering death in the get it out of your living room way, and so it's like although vampires will always have their attraction, they'll be rooted in, as has been said since the silent movie days, that there's a sexuality there. It's about them being humans that seduce and attract and manipulate and things. And then there's werewolves, but werewolves were popular for like the tiniest stint, and it's like that's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing where it's like, oh, I'm fascinated with the idea that we can all, at the drop of a hat, turn into a fucking horrible Hulk monster that it just wants to eat your face. It's like it doesn't take off the way saying everyone's dead. Everyone that touches you will make you dead. Then you'll be dead, but you'll never be dead because you can't be dead. You'll just want to make other things dead. You're a consumer in a sea of consumption, and you'll just want to consume. And for all you know, even if you're not already one of them, don't you wish you were? Aren't they winning? Isn't it just? It's been the nonstop, like it's like waves of it come and go, but it's like mounting in its appeal as a genre. It's almost like 30 years from now, there'll just be zombie channels. Zombie will just be a.
Oh, I got to get on that. But no, I mean, I think one of the things that does give zombies an edge over werewolves and vampires and things like that is that, those stories are always about a person who's become a vampire, a person who's become a werewolf, but you don't do stories about the zombies. Every zombie story is about the people in the story, and the zombies are just window dressing. Yeah. So the genre, I think, lives on because you can be like, well, there's some soldiers in Iraq, and they're doing this, and then zombies show up. There's some people at a baseball game in New York, and zombies show up. Like, you can take any story.
Nazis looking for buried Jewish gold during World War II, and then the Nazis come out of the cup. It's
aliens invade, and then zombies show up.
But zombies are also, or at least like the stories that you tell with zombies, are also kind of involved in the stories we have in general anyway, right? It's like there's still, you're trying to find food, shelter, safety. It's like like all of the fears we have about real life apply more with zombies. Like, someone randomly could just kill you. Like, if you go outside, it is dangerous. You actually do have to go find food to survive. Otherwise, your kids will end up dead. Like, it's a very extreme version of like all these fears.
Grubhub app is not working.
Especially all this capitalist stuff, though, right? Yeah. Like, the idea, it's like there is no more infrastructure. Like, there are no more gas stations or refineries. That like that, I think, are these fears that come naturally out of like living under the shadow of corporations.
Forming loose-knit alliances with a group of people just for survival could be the thing that kills you.
That was the thing about Dawn of the Dead that was really scary, is that like how quickly the system fails. When this weird thing that no one can explain or take care of happens, and everybody turns against each other, and you don't trust anybody, and it's like, like the cops are shooting each other because they're going crazy.
It's a common fear anyway.
Zombies don't have garlic. They don't have wooden stakes you have to put through their heart. They're thwarted by locking the door, which is our kryptonite because it means we have to be with each other. It's like fucking great.
They really
Sartre,
especially with Day of the Dead. It's like the real threat is the people inside that are like ready to shoot you because you're not pulling your weight, or they just want to, or they're just like,
or the people that lose their minds and open the door for all the others on.
Yeah.
Do you think an argument could be made the next time you do a panel? Maybe you could mention this.
Sure.
You were about to get sick and tired of zombies.
And we really brought you back.
We kind of made another 3 seasons of Walking Dead happen.
Harmontown saved The Walking Dead.
I think so. I was definitely on the edge, but now you guys have got the wheels turning.
This was sort of it's a wonderful.
We're good till season 16 now.
Yeah,
so that's good.
You're welcome to the people listening that also were worried that
this
Robert
was really
Kirkman
helpful.
had run dry.
And then I'm probably going to need to come do this show again in about 4 or 5 years. So.
Fine. I'm sure it'll be here. As you know, I am a fountain of enthusiasm about my own work.